What's up, guys? Alan Johnson with the AJ team. I had a really interesting meeting today with just some people who, high level officials, specifically in the county, that are asking what's happening with the real estate market. So I just kind of want to show y'all what I look at, right? Just always, you guys know I'm always diving into the data, deep locally, but I think sometimes it's very valuable to zoom out to see what's happening. So this is a chart of like existing home sales data, and this goes all the way back to 1981. And what this counts is this counts basically how many homes, how many units have changed hands, how many units have sold. So when I tell people, especially to the real estate agents that we coach and we talk to, and they're like, well, I haven't sold as many homes. I'm like, you do know that we're at one of the lowest points of home sales, like in a long, long time. So if you look here, it's under 4 million. This blip right here in June of 2024, that's under, right around 3.5 million of existing home sales. This is when interest rates spiked. And then you look back here, everyone knows what happened in 2020, right? Around, April, May, right? And then you got to start going back here to 2010 and then 2008 when we had the actual housing crash to get to the units. And if you look like off of the highs, this is a big drop. Like from even when COVID started to ramp up, like this is close to 6.6. This is, the end of 2021, 6.1. And then just look what happened as far as existing home sales. Like we're almost like significantly down, right? Significantly down, close to like 40%. So when we're talking to real estate agents, we're talking to clients about what's happening in the market. It's not necessarily that home prices are going down, which in a lot of localities they are, and they already have. It's just the velocity of people selling homes is significantly less, right? And that affects a lot of people. That affects, your home builders, people who are doing construction on homes, anyone who helps you turn a home, movers, everyone is feeling it, right? And then the other question that I get from people is like how much is this affecting the values? And I have to remind people in 2008, and I started selling real estate actually in this year, 2001. In 2008, if you look at the average price all across the country, look at the average price, how much did it drop? It was roughly 20%, right? There were some locales that were closer to 15, some at 30, some at 40, but on average around 20%, right? And I've been saying the number 10% for the past like 18 months that I felt like that the market in some places, and specifically in my area, and I know in other areas because we talk to and coach agents all over the country, um, 10%, right, is a real number about how much values have pulled back in our area, specifically in the DMV. And people don't know how that relates to their home value. Where I tell them like it's a lot of factors, like more people are paying closing costs, your home is on the market longer, you have to do more to get your home sold, you're gonna have to do some price reductions, like all of those things can equal the 10% or more, right? So for the people who are wondering like what's going on in the real estate market, it's so many different factors that we're dealing with. We're dealing with gas prices. We're dealing with people who took severance because of Doge, and they're coming up on their last check. I've talked to 3 clients this week that they're coming up on their last severance, and they got to move to a cheaper market because they thought they were going to get a job, and the job market is very dicey, specifically around the DMV. Talking about interest rates being higher than they were 2, 3 months ago. We're talking about war, right? We're talking about so many different things in the real estate market that we have to be aware of. So, the one thing that I want to open up to my database and the people that we know, make sure you're having intelligent conversations about the real estate market prior to you making decisions, right? I will tell you when I look back at that chart when the existing home sales were the lowest is when it was the perfect time to buy a home. right? When I look back at it, I look back at when we bought our homes. We bought homes in 2010. We bought homes in all of those areas where it was down in velocity was a great time for us to buy. And we're long term. We hold for for a decade. We hold for one or two housing cycles, and it's always worked out. We always bought and then we refinanced into cheaper rates as things kind of normalized. But this is a very, very tricky real estate market. And even with this data, there's context depending on, the condition of your home, where it is, are your neighbors putting their home on the market, where you're moving to, what are your long-term plans? So, we're here to help. Look, I am no soothsayer. I do not have a magic ball, a crystal ball. If I had a crystal ball, yeah, I wouldn't be working. I wouldn't be working. But what I do pride myself in is studying and having intelligent real estate conversations, and not from hyperbole, but from things that we've done. Right? We own a lot of real estate. I purchased and sold in up and down markets, and studying what you do is always a good thing. Right. All right. So if you have any questions about real estate, reach out to us and let us know. We'd love to help you. If you need help in a different location, a different state, even a different country, let us know. We've got a network of 19,000 agents that we coach and we work with that are really, really good. Well, some are good, some aren't, but we know the good ones that can help you. And if you got any questions locally, you can always reach out to us. All right. You have the dream. We have the address. We'll see you soon.